Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's live Q&A. I'm just moving stuff off my table here, out of the way. So how are we all doing? Hopefully people will start turning up because I wasn't here last week and I didn't advertise that I'd be on tonight. So we'll see if people start turning up. How are we all doing? Why am I off centered up? Is the question. There we go. There we go. Now we're back in action. Pulling my laptop forward a bit. I should have been more professional and had this sorted before we came online. There we go. No, so we're online. So how is everyone? I hope everyone is doing good. Hello, David. How are you? You're more than welcome to pop in. I'm just going to see if the notification has gone out to people. And hopefully people will start showing up. If they don't, I don't care. We'll just do it as long as the... there we go. The notification has gone out. So yeah. So I've had a busy week and I have another busy... not this... Well, actually 2 weeks today I will be back in the UK for the Victory Show. I was over in Yorkshire. I was over in Yorkshire at the Wartime Experience. So yeah, so that's where I was. That's why the live stream wasn't up last week. I do apologise about that. I should have put up a notification, but I forgot. So I'm sorry. Sue me. Stan is in. Hello, Stan. How are you? Just been dubbing boots. I haven't even attempted to clean any of my kit yet since I got back from Yorkshire. I know I need to clean an awful lot of stuff. Did that child know you? I hope so. Living History UK. Hello, how are you? So that is Steve Davis there in Living History UK. I will be with that gentleman. This actually won't be today week. It'll be tomorrow week. Because we will be going up a day after. I'm going over a day ahead. To the Victory Show. So if you're in the Victory Show, guys, in that area, come and pop along and say hello to us. Nick, hello, how are you? As I said, I was in the Yorkshire Wartime Experience last weekend. Fantastic weekend. Great bunch of lads. Andy Andrew Johnson. People know him as he pops in here. He's got a YouTube channel. He introduced me to some of the guys in that group. I am a member of that group. I'm affiliated again with that group. That is the Combined Forces Living History group. So there we were over with them for the Yorkshire Wartime Experience. Fantastic experience. Fantastic weekend. I got to see the Lancaster bomber. Got to see some very rare vehicles. Andrew is just in. I'm on a campsite and Wi-Fi is struggling. No panic. So that's where I was last weekend. So I got to see the Lancaster. I got to see a Spitfire. They flew over. But there is a video coming up hopefully tomorrow. I did edit it and uploaded it, but then all of a sudden YouTube spotted certain things the German people wear that they weren't happy with. So then I had to go re-edit it all and pretty much take out a lot of the content of the German stuff. So I had to do that. So hopefully that'll be uploaded tomorrow. I was a bit disappointed with that because I did put in an awful lot of work walking around the site. The weather was absolutely boiling last weekend in England. But yeah, it was hot. But yeah, as I said, great bunch of lads. Couldn't have asked for more. Andy had me sorted out with a ration pack and everything, sleeping bag, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, fantastic. Definitely meeting up with the boys again. And as a matter of fact, if you do want to meet the boys or if you do want to see the Combined Forces Living History group, we will be at the Living History Festival Living History UK Festival, which is on this year, still in the planning phase. I'm not going to mention the dates because I don't know if the dates have been released yet. If Steve is still around, he might be able to release them. Hold them, Andy, hold them, yeah. Runes, yeah, exactly. There was lots of them there. And unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like those people. So, yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance. But it was a fantastic weekend, lads. The dates are released. There you go. 22nd, 23rd of April, guys, Living History UK Festival. We will be there. I will be there. So come and say hello if you are nearby. But what did we get up to? History stuff. What can I talk about? I did pick up 2 Vietnam maps. One I'm doing a bit more research on because I believe it is actually a Special Forces map, because it is aerial photographs that is overlaid over a map, and it is of the Vietnam-Cambodian border. So only MACV-SOG and Special Forces units and LURPs and things like that in that area would have needed those type of maps. So I picked up them. I picked up a carbine with a cap badge on it. I didn't get much in relation to collecting because of the weight restrictions, because I was flying over and back. Plus I had kit with me. I was portraying a member of the 1st SAS because I was using Yorkshire as a trial run for the Victory Show. And thankfully everything went well. I did have to buy a new pair of anklets because my original anklets fit me, but they were just that bit tight, so I just bought a pair of reproduction ones. Sorry, there's some questions here. Well, it was a cracking weekend though. Really enjoyed it. Plus, it was great finally to meet up with you. Exactly, it was. It was fantastic. It was a great weekend, Andrew. I definitely will be back again. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely try and make some shows over again. It is an era thing that had few fans back in the day. It is an era thing that had a few fans back in the day. Yeah, you're talking about the guys with the runes. They were outnumbered, I will say. Normally, they outnumber the Allied guys, but there was one Cold War field where they had Land Rovers and that type of stuff, Saracens, and an Irish group actually that had travelled over. They will be featuring in the video. That an Irish group travelled over with some very, very interesting Irish vehicles. So keep an eye out on the video for that. There was another guy there, an original Panther Jeep. Not the Panther tank, guys, Panther Jeep. So he was asking for a bit of help about stuff because it was in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and it was in Germany, and that's the only history he has of it. So I have the reg on it and stuff. So if people have any information on that one, trader wise and stuff, there was a fantastic donut stall there, which I really, really enjoyed. But trader wise, I was actually shocked about the prices some people were asking for stuff. It's still plentiful. The items are still out there. There was nothing rare that I seen for sale, and there's some crazy prices, absolute craziness. There was guys looking for clasp knives for £30 sterling. Mark 4 helmets were up on £60. Brody helmets in very bad condition were about £60 or £70. There was army surplus guys there that you could get a deal off, but yeah, it was expensive enough. There was an awful lot of costly prices there. The prices are a bit wired at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Actually, one of the boys sent me a link today, or he put away one of the group chats. He put up a message about federal riot gun. It was estimated to be sold for, I think it was £500 to £600 or euros, even if I think it was correctly, and I think it sold for £1,500, which is crazy money, absolutely crazy money. And it's crazy when you think of, like, Mark 4 helmets are still very, very plentiful to be charging £60 a go for one. It's crazy. Steel helmets down prices, just like I experienced at a large antique fair a couple of weeks back. Yeah, no, I did pick up some bargains. Obviously, I picked up those two Vietnam maps for £10 each, which in my idea was a steal because I don't think he knew what he had. Um, I have seen them sell for a lot more than that. And the carbine, I picked up the carbine for £10, which was the carbine and the cap edge. So you all day long you get to pick up a cap edge for a tenner. The carbine's another tenner, so that's 20 quid. So yeah, so I wasn't too happy, or I wasn't too shocked at my little deals. I did get some reproduction items that were given to me to do a review on. So I will be doing a review on them shortly enough. There will be a video coming up on them. I'm trying to think what else, what other stuff happened that weekend. Manchester Airport, absolute nightmare of a place to try and get in and get out of. But yeah, no, it was a good weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. It was a great weekend. I'm really looking forward to the Victory Show because from what I hear from the lads, that the Victory Show is another fantastic show. Short Time Experience was a fantastic weekend. I really enjoyed it. Big show, big show. Probably, definitely bigger than ones that would it be? Yeah, it would be. It would be definitely bigger than the biggest one that I've seen in Ireland. Um, it would definitely be a lot bigger than that. The battles were fun. The drive-throughs, where the vehicles drove past there, were great fun. Um, it was good. It was mainly all World War Two, bar one field, which was Cold War. There wasn't actually really many Cold War reenactors. I think I seen one group that were doing like displays and stuff. Everything else up there seemed to be vehicles. Oh, excuse me. And then in relation to World War Two side, I seen guys portraying Burma. I seen Chindits. I seen American paratroopers all over the place. Um, British 8th Army was represented. I seen them. There was a great little group there that I covered as well. I couldn't do many interviews though with people because there was a guy on a loudspeaker constantly. Blah, 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 blah. So whenever I tried to do an interview, he was over. I need to get proper microphones, but he was overshadowing the sound, so that was a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, so it was a great weekend anyway. People are forgetting this is useless junk we collect. It's not useless junk to other people. 1 second there, guys. Oh, sorry, I'm back. But yeah, it was good damage control. It was crazy. It was absolutely mental over there. Good friend of mine now, actually, Loyal, kindly picked me up at the hotel, and we drove to the event. Um, Dropped me off again on the way back. Kind of him to do so. And then I had awful trouble when I went to go for the hotel because I had booked the hotel on a person's card that wasn't with me, and the hotel wouldn't accept it. I had to have a physical card with me, so that was a nightmare. So I had to go online, rebook the room, and pay for it again online, which was a bit of a nightmare. But that was fine. That wasn't too bad. Grand, got in, got dressed, went back down to the bar, got a bit to eat or whatever. But Manchester Airport, oh my God, it was mental. Shalom, Danny. Hello, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. But yeah, it was absolute. Manchester Airport was nuts. And as I said, I didn't pick up that much in relation to historical items. Um, that, personally, myself, there was an awful lot. There was nothing that really popped and got my interest. You had the usual 37 pattern webbing up the wazoo. That was everywhere. Um, what I did notice actually was you had an awful lot of these guys selling relics, and I am a bit dubious about buying relics because anyone can dig them up. First of all, anyone can make some type of paperwork of provenance with these things, and I just don't know enough about them. I genuinely don't know enough about relics and stuff like that, and I would be a very suspicious character in relation to those type of things. So unless I literally physically see it being dug up, um, then I am not going to buy it. We did speak actually here one time on a live. I can't remember who it was. That they knew a guy that would actually dug the stuff up on proper battlefields, buried it on his land that he had access to, and charged people to go out and with metal detectors and supposedly dig up um, World War II relics and artifacts, which is a complete bogus daylight robbery, really, if you ask me. Um, it's like it's cheating. That is cheating. And if somebody, a member from the public, found out about it, like that could turn somebody completely against the hobby, digging up what you think um, is original, and nothing turns out of it. But one thing I did want to talk about is like um, I do actually do a small bit of research, or not research, but a small bit of a script on what I want to talk about when I do go into lives, because otherwise I'm sitting here going. So the one thing I wanted to talk about was the show that I was at. It was fantastic, fantastic weekend. I wanted to say thanks to guys that were there that were with me, and I that you can see me at the Victory Show in 2 weeks' time as well. But I also wanted to talk about little military items and stuff that it's not big items, but to me it's a small like this. Okay, so what I have here is literally no, it's in bad condition, but it's a water bottle purification kit, right? And if I open this, it has its original two little bottles on the inside, and it's got its instructions on the top, right? So you have two little glass bottles, which are chlorine tablets, and your cotton wool stopper on the top of the bottle. I know the light touch that there now. I think so. Trying. So there you go. So as you can see, it's very bright. But you have little tablets with chlorine tablets in it, right? And what it looks like, what's the original cardboard in the back of it as well. I got this off a good friend of mine, Gary Hall, which is kindly. I did a swap with him for stuff, but the instructions are on it, right? And the instructions are on it, and to me, right, it's nothing to some guys. Some guys would prefer a Panzer tank or whatever, but I thought this is what I like. These little small little knick-knack items, um, because they have a personal history. Some guy could have carried that, who knows where, to because this one, if you can see, they're not completely full. They have been used, so some guy could have carried it to do his water supply. So they're the little things that I like. The other thing, when I was thinking of finding things that I wanted to talk about, is this little thing, because I did see some of these for sale when I was in Yorkshire. It is the infamous. See the date on it. It is dated. Camera focus. No. Right. Okay. Well, it is dated 1945. It is a World War II vintage soap dish. Right. You do see these dated 1944 as well, I believe. But these never actually seen service during the Second World War. They would have seen service in Korea, later conflicts, Malaya probably. But these were never seen service in World War II because these were part of the jungle kit that was brought out after the war, which was the war that they had. The 44 pattern webbing is part of that, whereas they adopted this webbing, this equipment, these for jungle conditions. But thankfully it was never used, and that's what that is. So if any of you see those and you see them in someone's kit at a show or anything, for World War II vintage, yes, they are World War II vintage, but they never ever seen service in World War II. There you go, another little piece of useless history here. And then I have one more little personal item. I'm just going to answer some questions. And then I'll answer some questions. Relics, old rust. Yeah, exactly. I do see the interest in it, and I do see the appeal of it. I would love to actually physically dig up something that was on a battlefield like Arnhem or Normandy or something like that. But the treasure hunt type thing is what I suppose. But I just don't. I don't agree with. Like there's the providence for them. It's like it's so easy to get duped. I just don't know. I just don't know. Where have we gone? Oh, Abdin Bani. Hello, how are you? David, good evening. Tango 20. Hi, how are you? David is. Has anyone arranged Kenny yet? Is Kenny in actually? I haven't seen Kenny. Yeah, mine's 45 dated soap dish. I think the vast majority of them are dated 45. I have an Era civilian white metal soap dish in my wash roll. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a soap dish in your wash roll. Nothing at all wrong with it. Kenny, oh, there is Kenny. Hello, everyone. How are you, Kenny? All batteries engaged. Old helmet. Hello, everyone. Hello, Stan. Hello, old helmet. How are you? This is another little thing that I picked up off of Gary when I was doing some horse trading with him, as I say. Patrol boot polish black. Apply very sparingly. Polish very lightly. Patrol polish limited. Blackpool. There you go. Another little personal item. Now these are the things that I like to collect in relation to World War II stuff. Like I love to put the small pocket kit together first. No matter what impression I'm doing. Like when my World War II kit, it was a small pack. I got my wash roll, my mess tins, knife, fork, and spoon, my clasp knife. They're the things that I like collecting and putting together. Like the uniform is the easy part. Uniform is easy to get, if you get me, if you know where to look. But the uniform is the easy part. It's the small little pieces that make collection. Like my up banner stuff, like my radios and my binoculars, and I have an empty wash roll now or bandolier, and I will eventually. I am going to try and start putting together a webbing set and equipment set for up banner type of guys. I have aid memoir, which is rare. I have the casualty cards, stuff like that. The things. Yeah, so that's where I enjoy putting my collection together. Just a few more questions that come in there. Soap dishes were 1945 onwards, intended for use in the Far East. Yeah, exactly. They were intended for the continuous war, as they call it, the continuing war, which was being the war against the Japanese. But thankfully, we all know how that. Well, I won't say thankfully, because unfortunately, it took the dropping of 2 nuclear bombs to persuade the Japanese to surrender. And in war, no one likes killing. No one likes death. I suppose that's another interesting thing as a military collector, as a reenactor, living historian, whatever you want to call him, is you can't glorify what. Yes, you can. I suppose. Yes, you can honor them, but you shouldn't glorify war, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. You should recognize the sacrifices and the stuff these guys made, and things like that. But the actual act of war should not be glorified, because war is a horrible thing. And those of anyone guys that have experienced it with United Nations duties, served in Afghan, served in Kosovo or wherever, war is a horrible thing, and no one that has ever experienced it or seen it wants to see it again. Well, that's wrong too, because you have these adrenaline junkies. But I mean, it's we should not be glorifying it in my eyes, in the community of living history and reenacting. Yeah, you can have a battle, have a bang up, whatever, that's fine or whatever. But the actual concept of war should not be glorified, if that makes sense. Um, was I on vacation last week? I was on vacation last week. I was at a military show in England, Ralph, and I will be there again in 2 weeks' time. So there won't be a lot. There will be a live next week. There won't be a live the following week. Um, Sorry, I'm just going to check up on somebody's helmet. Soap dish, I answered that one. Hello, this old helmet. Evening, Kenny. I've got a camp for my hat earlier and got 1990 East German Parker for a tenner. Oh, very good. That's a good catch. Was I on vacation yesterday? Was it? That's nice, Kenny. I've got a DPM Jacket 85 pattern for £3. Another good steal. Another absolute fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. Nice one. Stan cap was 59, size 2. Stan has a huge, ginormous head, and it would probably be a 60 or 65 at least to fit his Stan's head. Only joke at Stan, I'm only taking the mick. Still too small for me, Kenny. I got Hugo JNV Peaked Officer's hat and badge for a project I am working on as a side thing. Very cool. Very hard to get. Yugoslavian stuff is a collection in itself. It's they're a collector's item too. Kenny, nice one. Well said, John. I'm glad I've never been through it. Oh, it is. It's a bad thing. I have frozen. I hope I'm back again. Vacation and beer. Well, there was a vacation. There was actually no beer drank, believe it or not. We were just so busy, and in the evenings we were so tired. We just didn't bother beer. I genuinely did not have a drop of beer all weekend. We literally sat down, had brews of tea, sat around. I won't even say it was a campfire. We sat around between two Land Rovers, and we'd have 4 or 5 chairs, and we'd just chat and have a bit of crack, and that was it really. I'm learning their dress regulations. Interesting. You're learning Yugoslavian dress regulations. Best of luck with that one, guys. I would not try and learn it. I am still trying to do a bit of history on the first SAS. The more it's like a big rabbit hole, like everything else in this hobby. The more I get into it, the more interest I find in it. I seem to be delving more and more into it. So I probably am going to keep my tunic flashed up for the first SAS, because I will probably keep it as an interest or an impression that I could do. But I will be doing a Royal Ulster Rifles glider airborne impression as well, because a lot of the kit is airborne. It's transferable, like the likes of my Denison smock and stuff like that. Webbing is transferable as well. Well, yeah, it would be transferable. And it's an Irish regiment, and I want to portray an Irish regiment. I genuinely did not see any Irish regiments being portrayed when I was in Yorkshire. I believe there was a Royal Ulster Riflesman floating around that somebody spotted him, but I never spotted him at Yorkshire. But to the best of my knowledge, I did not see anyone portraying an Irish regiment. There was lots of British regiments. There was lots of Yorkshire regiments or Yorkshire connected regiments, because we were in obviously Yorkshire. But yeah, So that's the plan for World War II side of it. World War One collecting inside it seems to be put on the back burner for a while because I've been focused on the World War Two stuff for these shows coming up. Our banner is constantly ticking away in the background. Um, there will be stuff coming up on that as well. But yeah, so the main focus of the collecting at the moment has been World War Two. Just gonna have a sup of water. Daniel. Hello, Daniel. How are you? What's up, friend? How are you? How are you keeping? But yeah, it was. Sorry, it was. The Irish lads were there with Irish Army vehicles, but there was no actual Irish regiments that had served in the British Army portrayed at the Yorkshire War Show, Yorkshire Wartime Experience. So I want to change that in the future. Um, the planning for next year's festivals is already going ahead. I will be at the Living History UK Festival. I am one of the, I won't say organisers because I'm not an organiser, I'm a crew member. I'm a volunteer crew member. I'm a head of a volunteer crew member. I got roped into that actually. But yeah, I don't mind doing that. Some of the guys that I'm going there with, we've sort of put a plan in place on what we want to do. And I ran it by Steve Davis, who is the main organizer of the Living History UK Festival, and he's happy with that. I suppose seeing as Steve has actually put up the dates, I could tell you what my group is portraying. It's as far as I know. I wait till Steve comes on. If Steve is still there, I wait till Steve comes on and gives me pointers of what I can and cannot say because I'm not sure what can and cannot be said yet at the moment. In relation to groups and what's being portrayed and things like that. But there is about 20 groups, I think, 20 to 25 groups um, booked in for the actual event. Go for it, mate. Spill as many beans as you want. Right, so the group that I'm going with is the Combined Living History Society, Combined Living History Group. Right, whatever. We will be there. We are doing off banner, and we will be Argyll and Southern Highlanders, and we will be doing a VCP along with a static display. The theme of the actual event is 400 years, if I'm correct, or is that the one-day event? It's 400 years of the British and Commonwealth soldiers or militaries. So there's going to be everything there from Rhodesians, which is Don Bly's group. I think there's some Vietnam guys going to be there. There are going to be Australian in Vietnam. You'll obviously have your First World War, your Second World War. I think it's all the way back as far as the American War of Independence. So from there all the way up until Afghan, Iraq are the groups that are portrayed. It is on in the Furnace. Is it the Furnace? Oh, I can't think of the name of the place. I can see it, but I can't think of the name of it. I think it's called the Furnace. It's not the Furnace. Mine is the Snatch because mine's on ops again. Furnace, there we go. The Maya Furnace in Lancaster. So that's where we will be. Lancashire. Lancashire. I know I'm Irish. I can't pronounce that, but that's where we will be. Please tag along. Please come and see us. We don't bite. I do believe there's some TikTok personalities and possibly other personalities going to be there. Famous people. So if any of you are into TikTok people, keep an eye out, and you will be surprised who's going to be there. Of course, Steve Davis and Pete Neal and Don Blight, the actual Living History crew will be there. Danny Rees will be there, who's Herefordshire Regimental Museum. I will be there, Air Military Collectibles. Simon, I don't know if he's confirmed yet or not. He was there last year. There was Fly UK, who's actually a fairly big pilot-y type thing. If you don't know he's a pilot, he will tell you he's a pilot, by the way. He's going to kill me when he sees me. I'm trying to think who else was there. Ricky Vett was there, if any of you know who Ricky Vett is. But yeah, Morag fan club. Yes, the Morag fan club were there as well. But yeah, it was a great weekend. You're more than welcome to come and say hello to us if you're there again. Now that is so. I don't want to turn into a commercial channel and say, yeah, we're always going here, we're always going there. So it is 25. It is 30. I've been on waffling for 35 minutes. Sorry guys, I'm just taking off my runner here because my foot has gotten awfully itchy for a reason. I don't know why, but you ask me questions. Ask me questions about any of my collection and kit. You have free reign, guys, and I will answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'll make up an answer. No, I won't. I wouldn't do that. I do have some Irish videos coming up soon. For those of you that are interested, there will be some Irish videos coming up on Irish kit. Strangely enough, can you do some research on drinking Irish coffee behind enemy lines in World War II? Well, Irish coffee, believe it or not, lads, was not actually invented until the 50s, if I remember. It was 52, Irish coffee. And I'm not actually far from where it was invented. How Irish coffee was invented was you had an airfield here called Foynes, and it was actually seaplanes. One of them got, and it was a diverted or it had technical issues, couldn't take off or whatever, freezing cold night. The barman that actually worked in the terminal came up with this concoction of an Irish coffee, which is cream, coffee, obviously, and whiskey, and became known as an Irish coffee. It became famous, but it wasn't invented until the 50s. And I actually know the bar where it was invented. Are those cupboard doors from IKEA? They probably are, Jim. To tell you the truth, they probably are. I didn't actually see you come in, Jim. Oh, hello, there you were. No, couldn't tell you where they came from. These shelves, if any of you ever come across them, I picked up them in Lidl or Aldi, and they were like €50 for a flat pack, and there's 1, 2, 4 shelves on it, and they're fantastic. They're metal plywood. I have a taller one as well, for displaying your all on top of mine is helmets, and all down the bottom of mine is boots, and then in this shelf is more helmets. So yeah, so think outside the box, guys. If you see these, go pick them up. Where have we gone? And do they know? And do who knows, Dave? Sorry, did I miss something? Great story. It's not a story, it's the truth, actually. It is the truth. It's Jim Timber, DFC, MC, DDRT, and Bear. Any of the cupboard doors handles wonky. The whole thing is wonky, so it must be IKEA. Because John is wonky. AKA Brave Sir Timber, hello. Substances. Yeah, so that's the story of Irish coffee. What else has happened historically wise around here? If any of you know who De Valera is, he was a member of the 1916 Rising. He was also president of Ireland, and he was also Taoiseach. President twice. He was Taoiseach, I don't know how many times. Taoiseach is our prime minister. For those of you that can't speak Gaelic, he was actually elected in my home county and town when he first ran for Parliament, or not Parliament. Oris. Well, yeah, I've to try. We have different names and stuff, and because of my viewers, I've to try and put it into year names, and so it would be Oris Neutron, or not Oris Neutron is the presidential house. The Dáil is what the Parliament is called. So that's where he would have been elected to. But he actually donated his state car back to the county library as a thank you, I suppose, or whatever. But the interesting thing about his car is that it is actually the first bulletproof car that was ever in Ireland. And the supposed rumor is it was bought off the mafia in New York. And for his car, because I suppose there wasn't much of a market for bulletproof Ford Model T Fords at that time. But yeah, so there you go. So there's another little bit of history. Stan is laughing. Jim Timber, Eamon De Valera, is his name. Have you got any field telephones? I do not have actually field telephones. I have radios. I don't have field telephones. That's one thing I do not have in the collection. I did see you do an unboxing actually of did you say it was your 7th or 8th one? That's one thing I don't have, is I don't have field telephones. To tell you the truth, I've never seen them. I've seen them online and stuff, and I've just never thought about purchasing them. But I've never physically seen them at a show that I could have bought any. When I do British or Italiano, the bat bear in a suitcase. I also keep ice for a couple of days without refrigeration. That's some suitcase if you can keep ice in it for a few days without freezing. Cardboard wine box for stealth. Cardboard wine box for stealth. I have no Tedesco. Swedish number 7. And it looks so far to be a really good bit of kit, like most Swedish stuff. Like everyone goes on about military spec. It's military spec. Military spec just means it's made by the lowest bidder. Yeah, it has to work, and yeah, it has to move or to function. But 90% of the time, military grade stuff isn't top of the range stuff. It's military. It's military kit for a reason. I have a Klansman. I have a Klansman actually as well somewhere. I do have a Klansman. I have a Klansman headset and mic. They won't send me the radio as it clashes with dangerous items. Go figure. Can they not send it without the battery? Sorry guys, I just have to turn on. I thought my power supply was, but it's obviously not. Have I power? Hello, come back to me. I do have power. No. So yeah, I thought the batteries might be dangerous, sorry, but I don't think the actual radio is dangerous. Maybe not. Right, guys, it's 9:15. I am going to finish a bit early tonight, just because I'm tired, really. Sorry about that, but we'll give it another 5-10 minutes. So if any of you have any questions you want to shoot at me there for the next 5 minutes, you're more than welcome. Maybe because the Swedes were always neutral, but I do believe they sound quite a bit. Spend quite a bit on the military binos I have are really good. Yeah, don't get me wrong, military kit is good. A lot of military kit is good. It's fine, but it's like when people say military grade, they expect, oh, this is top of the range. No, it's not. Just because it's military grade doesn't mean it's top of the range. It's dangerous to kidneys. Yeah, stop drinking. It is very dangerous to your kidneys. I'm trying to think of what actual radios I have. I have a 77 set, I have a PRC6, I have a Klansman, I have a pocket phone, I have a Motorola, I have a headset, a vehicle headset, no radio to connect to that. Yeah, that's it. I definitely don't have a field phone. But don't you have all, Stan? Don't you have all your field phones connected to different rooms and stuff in the house, which is quite cool actually. I know you have one in your shed to the kitchen where your missus can get you. But I think that's cool that you have them all connected up. Have you got one done to the lookout tower as well in the attic? Oh, lads, I'm cramping my leg. Oh. I don't know what happened there. I just got an awful cramp in my leg. I'm getting old, boys. I'm getting old. Oh. Clansman is dangerous to the kidneys. Is it? Didn't know that now. Can you show the MP baton one more time? Isn't there an American eagle on the top? No, there's not an American eagle on the top. It is just, 1 second. It is just stamped US. There you go. Now we can see that. And it is named there. Atlee. Yeah. Field telephone is made by Ericsson. I thought Ericsson was Norwegian. Stop drinking. Never. Clansman is dangerous. Kidneys. Do you know any details about the UDR pipes and drums? I know the various battalions had pipes and drums. I do not, but there might be a lad online there called Gary Hall. He might have information. If you don't, if not, email me. On most of my videos, or all my videos, on top of the video description, you will see an email. Email me what questions you're looking for, and I will send them to him, and he might be able to get me answers. Best cure for cramp is Swedish plant Seuss. Yeah, I'd love one of them, Jim. If there's any floating around, but I don't think so. When it hits you in them. Oh, the Klansman and the kidneys. 77 sets just to hit you in the back of the head. You see all the radio lads that come back off an exercise, and there's a big lump here because every time they lean forward, they set it slide up their shoulders and hit him into the back of the neck. Yeah, I have house to all sheds. I probably need to get a switchboard as a wiring gets complicated. Try putting one in the hole, but the wife stops. That's fun. Oh no, Ralph. Nice. Yeah. Timbers put the magazine down. Do you also have a World War One British rum jug in your collection? I did, but I fortunately gave it away one time. I did. I had a rum ration jug. SRD was marked on the side of it. Central Ration Depot, or in slang, seldom reaches destination. Jug, yeah. I gave it away. I got fed up with reenacting and collecting at one stage, and I gave away a lot of my stuff. And when I think now what I gave away, I'm like, oh, you plonker. Stan, I am at the grip of a Swedish plan. It's not Argentina's. Right, guys. We've been on. It's 8:50, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes there to fire a few questions at me if you want. If not, we're going to head off. And I will be back online next Friday. As I said, those of you that ever want to come and see me, I will be at the Victory Show in 2 weeks' time. I will be at the Living History UK Festival next year. You're more than welcome to drop me an email. On top of all my videos, there's an email address. You can drop me an email if you have any questions, queries, or issues. All my kit, and you see on all my videos, none of it is sponsored. I pay for everything. I don't have any subscription channels or anything like that. You're always more than welcome to donate stuff to the collection if you want. If it's just me do a video on it and I send it back to you, that's perfectly fine. Or if you actually physically want to donate something to me, that's fine as well. Sorry, a few questions that have popping in here. No, it's Stallone's mom. One of us is ugly, one of us is cute, one of us ain't like to see other birthdays. Oh, ABBA. I was wondering, I said, that's a friggin' song, isn't it? Yeah, the collecting doll drums, you get a video coming up soon. that will raise all your spirits, but it's top secret. And I will be serious doing it. Stan, you have intrigued me. You have intrigued me, dear sir. Right, guys, I'm going to pop off. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Stay away from the old COVID if it's still around the place. We haven't heard much about it now at the minute. Stay away from monkeypox also. That's another one that's popping up around the place. And have a good one, guys. Enjoy yourselves. And I will see you next Friday, same time. Enjoy.